Well, hello everyone, Jess Stainbrook here with a special guest today. We're actually broadcasting live from the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, so on Radio Row. But I've got Kathy Ireland with me, and I'm going to date myself because I remember Kathy back in Sports Illustrated, but was really excited to talk to her today because we're on Radio Row with FSPN, the Faith+Sports network, which allows us to dig into different things like faith, family, football, and all the things that you're working on. So, Kathy, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, Jess, it is an honor to be with you. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, so take me, like I said, I think there's a lot of people that remember you from Sports Illustrated, but a whole lot of things going on in your life since then. And some of it has to do with motherhood and your faith. And talk to me about that.
Oh, thank you so much. It's just a joy and an honor, the biggest joy and honor. My husband, Greg, and I, we've got three amazing kids, Eric, Lily, and Chloe. And I'm going to claim our daughter-in-law, Bethany. We have to share her, but she's ours too. And two grandbabies, Daisy and
That's
Freya.
wonderful.
So
How
much
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, I have three daughters, and it's funny because I have Emmy Awards, I have all this stuff for movies, all the things that I do. And when people ask me, what's the greatest thing? I said, I'm a husband and a father. There is nothing better, right?
You know what? That's it. That's absolutely it. Yes.
Well, we're excited to be joining you as well with your home TV and that network. Tell me how you got involved with them, and let's go into some of the other things you've been working on.
Oh, thank you so much, Jess. You know, for us, it's always about people over profits, really getting to know the people. I work with a very diverse team, yet when it comes to what's truly important, how people are treated, we're on the same page. And getting to know Sean and Dana Stockel of Your Home TV, understanding their vision and their values, their desire to bring family friendly, inspirational programming to families everywhere. This is so needed. And my goodness, Jess, the work that you do, you are having such an impact on countless people everywhere. So thank you. And Your Home TV, I love this. It's a company, I see no limits. It's wonderful people doing great things. And families are hungry for this kind of programming.
For sure.
It's so necessary.
It's interesting. I mean, if you're familiar with Movie Guide, those guys have said for years, G movies and do better than our movies anytime, right? But there's our culture that believes otherwise. So I think there's a lot of folks that obviously we can stand up and talk about things and to make a difference in the things that are going on in our world.
Well, absolutely. And the people are making that clear. This is a company that has just an enormous trajectory. I mean, from zero to over 37 million viewers in such a short time. It's extraordinary.
It is amazing. Well, I want to back into a few things again to allow you to talk about some other things. I've done a lot of work with Tony Dungy and his All Pro Dad and the Family First Foundation. And I didn't realize that you were part of the iMom with Denise Jonas, right? And doing some things like that. I mean, talk about that experience. And again, how motherhood and the family side of things are so important.
Yeah, Jess, I can't think of anything more difficult, more important, or more rewarding than raising children. And so to be able to work with people who understand that and are honoring the profession of being a mom. I think the career of mom doesn't get the attention it deserves, probably because there's no paycheck attached to it. But my goodness, it is of critical importance, and for dads as well. Raising children, it is a gift. It is a joy. It's hard work. And it doesn't end when your kids become adults, but my parenting it's different now. My parenting is on my knees for the most part,
Right.
but it continues.
That's awesome. Well, Tony always talks about faith, family, and football. And obviously we like to talk about things in that order as well. Tell me about how you came to faith and how that impacts who you are in your, not only your home life, but in your business as well.
Oh my goodness, Jesse, it impacts everything. So I grew up with no faith. Mom comes to know Jesus when I'm a teenager. She's a little quiet about it at first, but she packs a Bible in my suitcase. I've never read a Bible in my life. And I'm going off to start this modeling career that wasn't part of my plan anyway. It was a difficult time in my life, lonely, a little scary. And in the middle of the night, because of jet lag and boredom, I opened up this Bible. I opened to Matthew. And as I started reading, I was a rebellious teenager. I knew what I had in my hands was the truth. And
Wow.
nobody was in the room with me saying, be this faith or be that faith. It was just like, I want to follow him. And so Jesus became my Lord and Savior, my best friend. It changed my life. That relationship gave me the courage to walk away from situations that weren't right. If he's with us, who can be against us? Yet one of my biggest regrets, and this is just, I'm so grateful for his patience. The very thing that led me to him, his word, I'd read verses that I loved and I'd cling on to those. I'd read other verses and I'd just say, oh, well, that's probably a translation or a typo, or it's a
Right.
cultural thing, but it doesn't pertain to me. So I was picking and choosing. I was trying to mold God into what I wanted him to be instead
Mm.
of surrendering and letting him do his work. So I love the verse that talks about the one who is forgiven much loves much. So Jess, I love a whole bunch.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, thanks for sharing that story. It is pretty wild when God meets you face to face, and you may not be absolutely ready for it, but boy, how he guides us from there on is
Uh,
absolutely incredible.
it's amazing. I mean, that love is just it's everything. And so that's I'm every day is a gift, and just it makes me excited about getting older, because yeah, I used to work in a retirement home when I was a teenager,
Mm.
and you learn a lot from working with people who have lived a long time, of how they use those years. Yet I recognize that when we have that relationship, when that relationship is first, and it's not easy for those of us who like to be in control, but giving that up and surrendering, it's the most freedom, the most joy, and it makes getting older better and more fun, because every day we get to grow in that relationship. So like by the time we're so full of years, we're going to love them so much, and it just makes whatever challenges we have, it makes it better.
Mm. So
Oh, good.
I have 8 students from Colorado Christian University that are serving as my digital
Oh,
media
that's
crew.
so
So and
great.
and we
Oh my
and
goodness.
our whole week has been talking to players about Jesus. So yeah, it doesn't get better than that, you
Oh,
know.
God bless you. I love how what a mentor you are to so many people. That's fantastic.
Well, thanks so much. Well, let me transition a little bit because obviously one of the groups that we work with is the Invisible Disabilities Association. And if you're not familiar with them, it's an advocacy group that raises awareness for people living with disabilities that aren't readily seen, right? They're not
Yes.
using a wheelchair, or they're not using a walker or something like that. And a lot of times, more often than not, they may not be believed because
Right.
it could be chronic illness and pain. It could be MS or diabetes. You can't see it, but we're working on different things that allow these folks to have accommodations and understanding. And I know you can't see my picture, but I've got a little marker on here. It's the Invisible Disability ID symbol that now is available on driver's license and government IDs, so that, in case you were pulled over by law enforcement, or if there was a first responder situation, they would know that, it's time to do something and contact somebody because there's another situation going on. So I don't know if you have any understanding of that stuff, or if you talk about something. Usually there's a lot of people around us, whether you're caregiving for an elderly parent or something like that. But I don't know, what are some of your thoughts on this stuff?
Well, thank you for this life-saving work that you're doing. It's such critically important information and making such a difference. And when someone's living with an invisible disability, it's just a whole, I mean, it's just a whole set of
Mm.
challenges that go along with it. And then there's also mental health challenges that people are going through. I recently our company produced a documentary called Anxious Nation. Academy Award winning director Vanessa Roth and New York Times bestselling author Laura Morton it addresses anxiety with our youth because it is just at an epidemic. And so when I learned about what they were doing and how this was impacting families, and what I really appreciate about it is they follow several kids, several young people and their
Right.
stories and their families, and it really makes it clear that there's not any one size fits all solution for everybody. But it's something that breaks my heart as somebody who's been involved in education for decades, serving on boards of directors to being a founder of a Christian school in our community, a
Wow.
co-founder of Providence. It's I can't think of another time that's been more difficult to be a young person.
Yeah, I have three daughters, and the youngest was in high school when COVID hit. And it was interesting to just see, and as a university professor, I get to see now the effects of COVID and that anxiety, with all the students basically living on their phones. I mean, my advice is get off your phone, man, go outside and do something. But we do see a lot of anxiety and anxiousness in our youth today. And, our goal is to help them through that and to have a way to be able to talk about it. Again, we have a disability ID card that people can get on our website that allows folks to have something. It's a symbol that when you say would walk into a restaurant or a store, somebody would see that and say, hey, how can I help you? Right.
Yes.
And we've also done the law enforcement disability training as well, so that when somebody might get pulled over, same thing, if they saw this symbol, the law officer would know that there's something else going on. So
that is so powerful. That's wonderful.
yeah, so those are the kinds of things that we're working on with the Invisible Disabilities Association. So, well, any last thoughts about, I don't know, like I said, our big question here is always faith, family, and football. How do those line up for you? But for you, I mean, you didn't really tell me about any of the things that your business stuff is working on. I mean, I've seen some of the things on your home TV, but I actually think it would be encouraging, especially for the girls that would look up to you, to see an entrepreneur like yourself. What are the things you're working on? How'd you get there?
Oh, thank you so much. How we got there, it's a lot of sweat equity. um,
Yeah,
don't be
right.
afraid of rejection. If somebody says no, it just means now we're talking. Just believe in what you're doing, know how things are being done. Just a few areas in which our company is working, some power pivots, the area of fashion, HSN. On the 13th, my mom and I are going to be showing some new collections. And so that's really fun. We're also in brick and mortar. A wonderful young man, Tommy Meharry. He is an executive on our team, and he also is co-founder of My Six. It's Marine Talk, because Tommy's a Marine, for Got Your Back. So it's a complete men's line. American Family Insurance, been working with them for years. And on Your Home TV, we've got American Family Insurance brand building for small businesses, working with Main Street Chamber Holdings, wonderful company. It's OTC, MSCH, and working in areas that really serve people, from licensing to laundry to real estate to, I don't believe that any business is small, because when you are working to fulfill a dream, it's not small. We refer to it as independent. And just bringing opportunities to independent businesses everywhere. Our credit card processing in Ireland Pay, 51% of our profits go to nonprofit. So
Wow.
that makes it very exciting for us, because as we grow and succeed, we're motivated because more good can be done. And so for the young people who you are mentoring, I just say I love your values, faith, family, football. For me, it's always been my faith, family, being in service through our work. And when those priorities are out of order, I'm an absolute disaster. I'm not effective at anything. So figure out your values, put boundaries in place to protect them, because they will be challenged.
For sure. Well, we appreciate that insight. One of my crew members, is what I usually do is I assign them things. We have plenty of packages that we have to produce that go out to the networks. But I also give them an assignment to allow them to do something on their own. And one of my girls is doing fashion here at the Super Bowl. And she's having these
Great.
amazing conversations and having so much fun. Yeah, I've got 4 girls and 4 guys on our team. So
Oh, that's wonderful. I want to see her presentation. That's
I know, I
exciting.
can't wait. She's actually been having some really cool conversations with the players and the coaches. We're at opening night here at the Super Bowl, and like I said, we're in Radio Row right now. That's a little bit nuts. It's getting louder by the second because Friday is really the busiest day here. So kind of crazy.
Oh, well, my goodness. Congratulations to you on everything. And thank you because you are such a role model to so many people. And I love how you use your career to bless others and to teach others. It's very powerful.
Well, thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have had the honor of being with Kathy Ireland, who I would say is proud to be a wife, a mom, and an entrepreneur, really guiding people in the way that they can live their lives to honor our God and Jesus. So, Kathy, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Jess. God bless you.
All right. Have a great day. And we'll see you guys on the next show coming out here from Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. Have a great day.